Good evening. First we have Alisson Becker, and shortly afterwards we'll have the head coach, Arne Slot. If you could raise your hand if you'd like to ask a question, we will get through as many as we can. Who'd like to go first?
Hello, Alisson. Hi. Nice early chance to put the weekend's disappointment behind you.
Good evening, everyone. Yeah, tomorrow is a big chance for us to prove again and to go back to the good start that we have in the season. Unfortunately, the last match was we were far away from what we could do on the pitch in respect of the other games, the way we played, and we know that. But football is quick. And we have to be really focused for tomorrow night. It will be a really tough opponent that we're going to play against, and we have to be ready.
Ciao Alisson, Francesco Rocchi, Rai Sport, benvenuto, bentornato. E volevo chiederti le tue sensazioni, ecco, di ritornare in Italia, in uno stadio come San Siro, e affrontare il Milan.
Ciao, per me è sempre un piacere tornare in Italia. Vengo anche nelle vacanze sempre per la mia famiglia speciale. Sempre dico questo, però domani sarà una partita molto difficile per noi. C'è una grandissima squadra davanti, una partita storica. Sappiamo la storia del calcio che c'è queste due squadre quando giocano insieme. Hanno fatto due grandissime finali nell'inizio degli anni 2000, quindi per noi è un piacere avere l'opportunità di giocare una partita come questa, e siamo pronti per lottare per i nostri obiettivi. Prego.
Ciao Alisson, bentornato in Italia. Antonio Gioia, Corriere dello Sport. Sarà anche un confronto domani tra te, che sei uno dei migliori portieri al mondo, e Maignan, che è un altro dei migliori portieri al mondo. Cosa ne pensi del tuo collega? Insomma, dove lo metti in una classifica del ruolo in questo momento il francese? Grazie.
Maignan è un grandissimo portiere. sta facendo benissimo dalle 3, 4, 5 anni, fin quando è arrivato al Milan, sempre gioca bene con la Francia, dopo sostituire un grandissimo portiere campione del mondo come Lohi non è facile, e lui sta facendo benissimo, sempre quando gioca bene. C'è molta fisicità, molta velocità, una tecnica pulita, è un bravissimo portiere, è sempre tra i 10 migliori portieri del mondo. La qualità dei portieri è cresciuto tanto e ci sono tanti bravi portieri, lui è uno di quelli.
Ciao Alisson, Michele De Blasis, oggi Sport e Notizie di qua. Eccoci qua. Ti volevo chiedere se per voi l'ambiente che vivrete domani qui a San Siro con il tifo caloroso potrà essere anche un fattore preoccupante per voi. Grazie.
Per noi è sempre, per i giocatori che giocano all'alto livello, deve piacere questi ambienti con i tifosi a favore o contro. Siamo abituati a questo, però sono sicuro che sarà una bellissima occasione per giocare calcio davanti i tifosi rossoneri qua. Siamo contenti di questa opportunità, però abbiamo bisogno di essere pronti per veramente far bene. Se vogliamo vincere la partita dobbiamo fare il nostro meglio, perché c'è una grandissima squadra davanti a noi e il calcio italiano anche sempre dà fatica per le squadre inglesi, quindi dobbiamo essere pronti per domani.
Hi, I just wondered whether I could ask you what you make of the new Champions League format generally. There's a lot more games. Does that make it tougher? How demanding is that on players? And also, I wonder what you make of Liverpool's chances generally as potential Champions League winners this season. Can you do that?
I think for the supporters it's amazing. More games. More bigger games, big teams playing against each other. For us players as well, is a good thing that you are going to play against the best in Europe, and it's always a good idea to add some games to the calendar that is not busy. I'm being ironic a little bit, but again, we are here to do our job. Sometimes nobody asks the players what they think about adding more games, so maybe our opinion doesn't matter, but everybody knows what we think about that, having more games. Everybody is tired of that, but we have to bring those kind of things on side and stay focused on the big challenge that we have here tomorrow. And if we have a chance, let's see what we're going to do on the pitch. A lot have changed from the last years from us. We didn't play the Champions League last season, and we are all looking forward to that, to be back to the Champions League, and we're going to do our best to try to win.
Sure.
Ciao Alisson, Michael Cuomo, Tele Lombardia. Ci racconti come è entrato nello spogliatoio nel calcio inglese, nel Liverpool, Federico Chiesa, e come ha preso questa sua prima convocazione, come lo stai vedendo, come lo hai conosciuto? Grazie.
Io non ho bisogno di fare una presentazione del calciatore che è Federico Chiesa per voi, lo conoscete anche meglio di noi. Lui ha dimostrato negli ultimi anni la sua qualità, anche ha avuto degli infortuni, ha avuto dei momenti non tanto belli nel calcio, però il modo con chi lui è arrivato a Liverpool mi ha fatto piacere, perché lui è arrivato con una sorrisa grandissima sulla faccia e c'è molto entusiasmo su di lui, e lui anche è molto contento di avere questa possibilità di giocare per una squadra come Liverpool, e la sua qualità dimostra ogni giorno, quindi siamo fortunati di avere un calciatore dal suo livello per puntare e per aiutare la squadra.
Buonasera Alisson, Luca Savarese, Radio Cross. Tu da dietro in qualche modo hai uno sguardo più privilegiato. Qual è la caratteristica più visibile che vi sta dando Mr. Slot? Grazie.
Buonasera. Il mister ci ha portato tante cose buone. È naturale che tutti noi calciatori che abbiamo lavorato tanto tempo con Klopp sempre avremo un po' di lui sulle nostre caratteristiche, però il mister Slot è arrivato con molto entusiasmo e anche con nuove idee di calcio, che non cambia tanto rispetto a quello che abbiamo fatto nel passato, però lui piace avere la palla, piace fare le creazioni più dal basso, dal portiere fino alla porta avversaria. Ci permette di giocare qualche palle lunghe se la partita si ha bisogno sulla partita, però piace molto del palleggio, piace molto della vicinità dei calciatori dentro campo, dei movimenti, e poi ci lascia libero anche per essere creativo dentro campo. È uno che lavora molto, il suo staff anche lavora molto e ci ha portato molto entusiasmo sulla squadra e siamo molti fiduciosi che possiamo fare molto bene questa stagione.
Chris?
Hi, Alisson. Does not being in the Champions League last year make you appreciate it even more? Do you feel as though you and your teammates in the club as a whole belong in this competition?
Yes, imagine something that you really like to do and you stay without doing it for 1 year. How looking forward you would be for doing that thing again. So that's the way we feel. That's playing the Champions League was one of the reasons that I came here in Europe from Brazil. So not being able to play the last season was really hard. But here we are again after a really good season of us qualifying for the Champions League in a really difficult league that is the Premier League. So we are looking forward for that, for this beginning.
One at the back and then the last one here.
Ciao, buonasera, Maurizio Cardone, Radio Latte e Miele. Domani affrontate un avversario, il Milan, che non ha avuto un avvio molto lineare, non bene nelle prime 3 partite, poi una vittoria netta, quella di sabato col Venezia. In virtù di questo ti chiedo se è stato difficile studiare questo avversario, se c'è qualcosa che ti ha colpito, che vi ha colpito di questo nuovo Milan di Fonseca. Grazie.
Quello che ci ha colpito è la qualità delle squadre, che è sempre la stessa. Magari i risultati non ci portano una fiducia nella squadra, però la qualità è lì, i calciatori con qualità sono lì e sappiamo che domani è una partita diversa, è una partita di Champions League, c'è la motivazione dei calciatori, quindi tutto può essere diverso da quello che abbiamo studiato, che abbiamo guardato, quindi siamo molto concentrati sulla prestazione che possiamo fare noi, sulle cose che dobbiamo fare noi dentro campo e è questo, con molto desiderio di fare bene, di fare una bella prestazione. Rispetto di quello che abbiamo fatto contro il Nottingham, domani sarà una grandissima opportunità per noi e anche per cominciare bene la competizione.
Alisson, just to follow up on player welfare and the volume of games, you say no one asks the players, so I thought I'd ask you, what do you think is the appropriate amount of football for a top player to be playing in a season? Is it 50 games? Is it 40 games? And what competitions, or what would you drop from the calendar to make more room?
I think this is not only a question that I should answer here. Okay, the number is 30 or the number is 40, but it's a matter to sit down all together and listen all the parts, because we understand that we have the side of the media from TVs, we have the side from the UEFA, from the FIFA, from Premier League, from the domestic competitions. We are not stupid. We understand that, and we understand that people want games, people want more games. But the reasonable thing would be all these sides that I mentioned, all the people who are responsible for making the calendar, organizing the calendar, to sit together and to listen all the parts, inclusive the players. I think so many players have spoken already about that, and we just need to be listen, and that's what we would like to do, to sit together and to understand what is the thinking of the directions that football wants to go, and not only adding games, adding competition, adding this, adding that. At the end is only what we want is giving our best for the football. If you are tired, you cannot compete in a high level. What I want is giving my best in all the games that I play. But we need a solution for that, and doesn't look like we are close to a good solution for the football's sake and for the players' sake.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
you want to leave?
Yes.
Hello again. Exactly the same process as with Alisson. We have simultaneous translation on headsets. If you could raise your hand if you would like to ask a question. Gary?
We missed him. I missed him for a while.
Oh, yeah, you followed you, didn't you?
San, yes, I need this one. Okay. Yeah. Hello there. San Siro, first game in charge of Liverpool in the Champions League, and your birthday.
Tomorrow it is, yes.
Congratulations. Hopefully lots more to celebrate as well. How big a night will this be for you in your career so far?
Yeah, I think it's the first time that my birthday is not so important tomorrow. It's a big game, not for me, also for me, but it's a big game for us because it's the first game and it's the next game, and the next game is always the most important one, as you know. But because of the history of this, that these two teams have, and the venue where it's played in, it's one to look forward to.
László Süle from Hungarian RTL Television. Question about Dominic Szoboszlai. There will be another celebration. If he plays, it will be his 50th game in Liverpool. So far, he played all 4 games full time, 90 minutes. How important is his role for you in the team?
I think all of the squad players they have an important role, and he's played all 4 of them now. And every player feels more important when he plays than when he's not playing. But every squad member has his role, and during a season, all of them will play a lot because we play a lot of games. But he's been important for us, especially till now in our work when we don't have the ball. So he's been outstanding in his pressing game, and I think something that we have to work on with him is that he's also even more involved in scoring goals and creating chances for us. Because I think last season he scored 3, if I remember correctly. And for an attacking midfielder at Liverpool, his numbers needs to go up. But I'm really happy with the way he's done till now. And I'm 100% sure that if he plays in a team with so much quality around him and with the quality he has, that he will, in the end, score more goals for us as well.
Gentleman here, the blue suit.
Buonasera mister, sono Paolo Vinci, televisione italiana, Netvic Telecity.
Yes, I can.
Benissimo. Le chiedo, lei ha raccontato adesso in breve la storia del Milan, la storia del Liverpool, di grandi squadre, di grandissimi incontri, e soprattutto le chiedo in questo momento di cosa si ha paura, di qualcosa del Milan, di qualche giocatore che vorrebbe togliere da questa squadra del Milan. Grazie.
I don't know if the translation is correct, but the word scared was used. If I was scared for some players or for AC Milan, I don't think any manager or any team is scared to play the other team, but we have a lot of respect for the quality and the players and the history of Milan. So, the first one that comes to my mind is, of course, a Dutch player, Tijani Reinders, who's done really well over here and also for the Dutch national team last week. So they have quality players. We're not scared, but we do respect all of their players because they've shown last Saturday that that they're in good form, had a very good 4-0 win. So we respect Milan a lot, but scared is not the word we would use.
Buonasera mister, and happy birthday for tomorrow. Prima mi sono un po' stupito perché i colleghi inglesi parlano di delusione per la sconfitta di sabato. Alisson prima ha detto addirittura rimettere in carreggiata la stagione. Eppure Liverpool ha fatto 3 grandi vittorie nelle prime 3 partite e una sconfitta che può capitare, cioè secondo me può capitare. È davvero così pesante la situazione del Liverpool? Cioè è così tanta la delusione per questa sconfitta che bisogna tornare subito a vincere? Ecco, come se fosse già una partita decisiva, una finale. Grazie.
What did Alisson say? That we have to put right after what went wrong on Saturday.
Oh yeah,
we have to be better.
Not only the journalists were disappointed about the result from us against Nottingham Forest, the team and me were really disappointed as well. Although we always put it in the right perspective when we beat United, the journalists and us were really positive, of course. But I also saw things we had to improve. And last Saturday, we didn't do as many things good as we did against United, but there were still a few things that went quite well. But it was a total different game, and that's also for tomorrow. I expect a complete different game against Milan, with the type of players they have and the playing style that manager has compared to Nottingham Forest. But we should be disappointed if you lose a home game against Nottingham Forest and you play for and you work for Liverpool. If you're not disappointed, if you drop points in a home game against Nottingham Forest, then something is wrong. So 4 games, 9 points. It's a good start, but it's not a great start because then we would have had 12.
Arne, good evening. Ian Dennis, BBC Radio. In the old Champions League format, if you won your home games or got to 10 points, there was a fair chance that you would qualify. I'm just intrigued to think how many points you think might be required in this new phase, and also what are your thoughts about the revamped Champions League format?
Oh, a lot of questions in one. I think it's difficult for me to tell you now how many points are needed because it's the first time we play this competition and it's 8 games. So I was lost. I've been in Europe for a few years with my former clubs, and sometimes we went through to the next round. I think one time even with 6 points or 7 points, and we ended up number 1 in the group. So that is difficult to say before you start, but I think it's clear that if you want to end up in the first 8, you have to win a lot of games. You need a lot of points. And what I think about the format, that's also something you can ask me better in the end. The only thing I like about it, just as someone who loves to see football every night on television, is that on every night there's a nice fixture. Where in the former format, sometimes there were evenings you're like, okay, tomorrow is a nicer game than today. But now, for example, with our game tomorrow, I think everybody who loves football is looking forward to that game. So that is the positive thing for the person that sits at home in front of his television. Is it going to be for the players with 2 extra games? How is it going to be exciting in the end of the group stage as well? That's something that we have to find out, and I don't think anyone has the answer to that at the moment. But if you ask me these questions in a few months, I can answer it probably much better than I can answer it now.
Chris?
After the defeat on Saturday, a lot has been made about rotation or lack of rotation, and especially from your teams in the past. But with the fixtures coming now thick and fast and more Champions League games, are you going to have to rotate, and should we expect to see changes in different games now going forward?
If rotation would be the reason why you don't win a game, then probably wouldn't be the first game I lost in 2024 last Saturday, because I found indeed we didn't rotate a lot. So for me, but everybody can have his own opinion, it's too simple to put this loss on rotation. It's because I think too many players didn't reach their normal level, and that was not only the ones that started, but also the ones that came in. So for me, it had a lot to do with the playing style of the opponent, who made it really difficult for us. But in the end, if you don't win, you try to look at as many arguments as you can find. And also, I ask myself the question: okay, does it have to do with the things you said, or? But I prefer to look the game back and see what we did well, what we didn't do well, and I think we could have done a lot of things much better. That was not related towards rotation. But we would never know if I would have rotated 3 or 4 new players in if we would have won then. But this is going to be a long answer. I think it was the day before the press conference. Someone said to me, 10 of your players have started for the national team. So which ones were completely rested then? So the rotation, now I can do something about the rotation in the upcoming games because they're all with me. But before that, they were with the national team, and almost all of them played 2 times 90 minutes. So, yeah. But I think they were prepared for that. We tried to prepare them for that. And for me, this loss didn't have to do with rotation, but more to do with the opponent and us not bringing too many players, not bringing what they can bring.
Buonasera, mister. Le chiedo se ci racconta perché ha voluto Federico Chiesa, cosa ha visto in lui, come lo ha visto a Liverpool e se domani sarà in panchina. Grazie.
What we like about why we brought him in and what we like about him. I always like to bring in quality players, and we believe, and I think that he's a quality player that combines quality with an enormous work rate, and the culture of this club and the culture of this team is working really hard when we don't have the ball, and I think he brings this to his game in combination with scoring goals, in combination with he can play in several positions up front. He is for the first time in our team selection. Is team selection the right word? Yeah, team selection. And since I said it's the first time he's in team selection, it would be a big surprise for him and for everyone if he would start tomorrow. I don't think you should expect that he starts, but he can make a few minutes for the first time tomorrow if we need him, and that is something we will see tomorrow. But for the first time with us, and don't expect him to be there in the starting lineup because he's been with you for training on his own for a long time now, with us for a few weeks, have some training time. So it's too early for him to play 90, but hopefully he can make his first minutes in the upcoming fixtures.
Benvenuto a Milano, Mr. Slot. Marco Guidi, Gazzetta dello Sport. In Italia c'è sempre molta discussione su Rafa Leao, sul suo calcio, sul suo modo di intendere il calcio. Lei allena delle grandi ali tra Salah, Luis Diaz, Gakpo, Chiesa adesso, cioè tantissimi giocatori di qualità in quel ruolo. Su Leao è già un top player o è un calciatore che ha ancora molto per diventare un top player, e se domani sera ha qualcosa di speciale per lui per fermarlo?
You were asking me if he's already a special player, and there's a lot of talks about him, you said. I didn't know, but that's what you told me. And I think that means that he's a top player. But because people always talk about the top players, they don't talk about the players that are underneath. We know his quality. We've studied, of course, the Milan team, and then one of the ones that catches your eye is definitely Rafael Leao. How do we try to stop him not being on his best? That's always a team performance thing. So we need to defend as a team really well to stop the likes of Rafael Leao, but they have more quality in the team and more special players than only Rafael Leao. But he's definitely one of their top players, in my opinion.
Buonasera mister. Domanda breve e veloce su McAllister, giocatore molto importante per voi. Volevo chiedere se anche lui rientra un po' nei discorsi di turnover che faceva prima. Grazie.
I have only important players, so all 23 I took to the Milan game tomorrow are very important to me and to the club. I think you saw I took him off after 60 minutes, or somewhere around 60 minutes against Nottingham Forest. That also had to do with him not playing the full 90 minutes with the national team, being out for a few days with an injury. So that had a bit to do with rotation. And but I think he's able to play tomorrow again 60 or 90 minutes, and we will see the decision I make tomorrow. But he's definitely, like the other 22, an important player for us.
Well done. Thank you.